Okay, this is part 4, chapters 73 through 75 of Lock the Doors. Um, the titles for the videos are weird, but listen to Amy's section first. It's correct in the playlist, but just a reminder, if you're looking at it for the first time and you see that, oh, it was cut off, but then it rejoined again. There was a reason. The section in the part 3 is very important to read, but this is part 4. Chapter 73. Even the most normal houses can look terrifying when you know the truth. Amy's new home gave me shivers when all I had were suspicions. Now it chills my blood. There are clips of Logan Connolly's mom on YouTube pleading for the safe return of her son. There are news stories around the disappearance, and there's a photo. If you stare long enough and know what you're looking for, you can see him. His hair is longer and 2 front teeth are missing. He has a chubbier face and a cheekier grin, but there's no doubt. Logan is Will. Amy took him, but unlike the boy in the shopping center, she didn't give him back. Some mysteries are kept alive for years, but not this one. The news report stopped after a few weeks, and Mrs. Connolly's grief continued off-screen. The police talked about a nearby river and the likelihood of Logan being washed away. The officer in charge said they would leave no stone unturned, but some stones are harder to lift than others. My head is spinning, and I run to the toilet and throw up, then sit on the floor trying to study my breathing. The rest of the house is asleep, and I don't wake them because I need to figure out what to say. Is it enough to show them a picture of Logan? Would they recognize Will as quickly as I did? I stare at the photo again and start to doubt myself. He was 4, and now he's 10. They look so similar, but I have to be certain. If I called the police and I'm wrong, everyone will be angry. Not just the Pierces, but Mom and Jay. I can already imagine them whispering through the walls. We need to do something about his anxiety. It's unhealthy being this paranoid. It's not normal. I think I'm right, but I so desperately want to be wrong. My phone vibrates and I jump, but it's just Zach talking about how a new Netflix show that he's binged in a day. How do I reply to that? How can I pretend everything's normal? Instead, I write a message to Amy, then wait because I can't send it yet. Should I give her the chance to explain? Or would they run again farther this time? I pull out the list of clues and go through them slowly. The locks on the outside were to keep someone in. They were on Will's door and on Amy's. Is she guilty or is she another Logan? The words under the wallpaper, "Help me," were a plea from a boy who had been washed away, just not like people thought. The stick drawings, one big and one small, a child and an adult, a son and his mother. Logan did them over and over again because he hasn't forgotten. How could he? He counted hundreds of horrible days with the tally marks surrounding those drawings. And Amy's journal, when she said, "I can't possibly know the truth. I almost wish I didn't." 74. I delete the message to Amy because there's another way. Instead, I go back to the spot below Will's window, except that's not the name I plan to say if he wakes up. The stones clatter against the glass, then fall into the space between me and the wall. If Jane or Chris comes out, I'll tell them what I know and hope it scares them away. But no one comes. Their house is so big and the space between the rooms so vast that I am left alone to wake their son for as long as it takes. Eventually the curtain twitches and he looks down at me. I sign for him to open the window, but he just stares. Is this the boy that needs saving, or am I making a massive mistake? There's only one way to find out, so I say, "Logan," then again, louder this time, making sure my lips are exaggerating the sounds. One shout, that's all I get. Any sound can be just a noise in the night, so I take a deep breath, dare myself, then yell. The first syllable is swallowed by the darkness, but the second echoes before joining the buzz of the streetlights and the hum of whatever comes out at night. He heard it. The whole street heard it. Most of them will fall straight back to sleep, convinced it was in their dreams or someone shouting as they stumbled home from the pub, but Logan doesn't. He looks at me and I wait for something. Anything. I wait for him to tell me I'm right. Instead, he shakes his head and disappears behind the curtain, leaving me alone on the street, staring up into the darkness. 75. I wake up to the smell of Sundays, and as I roll over, the list of clues crinkles beneath me. Aaron's laugh comes first, then Nia's voice, then the dull mumbling of the radio. Mom loves Sunday because it's the day we feel most like a family. Aaron has been here all night, and his sister has woken up happy, and Jay gets things done. Mom fills the house with the waft of bacon sandwiches, and it's the time when our horrible past feels both the closest and the furthest away. "Here he is," Jay says, and Mom turns and grins. Sometimes, for a few blissfully weird seconds, we feel like the family's on TV. That's why saying this is going to be so hard. Sit yourself down, Mom says, scooping bacon from the pan. I do what I'm told and watch silently as everyone joins me. I don't know when it happened, but I've started to enjoy this life more than I ever thought I would. I assumed I'd always be the outsider because Mom had Jay and Nia had Aaron and I was the odd one out. But that's not how it is now. Maybe it's seeing the Pierces and feeling the horrible tension that fills their walls like invisible portraits. Maybe it's digging so deep into Amy's life that I realized ours is held together by more than hope. Mom closes her eyes and put one last pin in what she hoped was forever, and she won. That's why I can't tell them. Not yet. Every time I open my mouth to say Will is really Logan, Mom's smile or Aaron's giggle or Jay's laugh stops me. This is an almost perfect moment, and I can't take it from them. So I eat, and I speak when I'm supposed to. And I speak when I'm spoken to. And I try to laugh as loudly as everyone else, even if, in the back of my mind, Logan's face is haunting me. Does he want to be rescued? I think of all the times Mom could have escaped the bad people in her life, but didn't because something holds you in the most horrible places. The fear of what might happen if you leave. Is he happier now? Does he remember his life before? Even when you have an answer, the questions don't stop. Are you okay? Mom asks. He's probably daydreaming about Amy, Jay says, and the look I swap with Nia says he's right, but not in the way he thinks. Does Tommy fancy Amy? Aaron asks, and his sister can't help but laugh then. I'm not sure it's that simple, Nia says, then looking straight at me. Is it? I push the fingers of each hand together under the table, then make sure all 10 digits are touching the narrow strip of wood around the seat. I don't fancy her, I tell Aaron. He blows a raspberry and says, Finished. So what do you say? Mom replies. Please, may I get down? Mom nods without looking at Jay, but Nia doesn't give her evils like she used to. She doesn't think my mom is stealing their mother's job anymore. Looking through my window for so long, I'm starting to realize what others see through their own. Aaron is outside before his feet have touched the ground, and we watch him running round the garden with his arms out, then find his football and kick it against the back fence. Mom starts clearing the table, and I practice what I'm going to say in my head. It doesn't need to be perfect, it only needs to sound true. I don't want to ruin her Sunday, but whatever day I say it, things will change, and I don't want to wait too long just in case. Nia pats me on the shoulder as she gets up and whispers, Keep thinking, Sherlock. She has no idea I've already solved it. Proper detectives wouldn't be scared to shout the truth. It's what they're there for. But that's not my job, and the proof suddenly feels like a lie. Mom, I whisper, but Nia is talking over me. Where's Aaron? She's looking through the patio doors and something's different. There's a hole in the fence where there wasn't one before. What is that? Nia asks. When Jay comes closer, he says, That's weird. I follow them outside, echoing them as they call for my stepbrother, but he doesn't come back. On the ground next to the hole is a round piece of wood with nails poking out. It's the same color as the fence on one side, and it fits the gap perfectly. Aaron! Jay yells louder this time when he pokes his head through the hole. Shit. What is it? Mom asks. This isn't another house, it's something else. Jay runs back down the garden, and Mom stares at him while Nia keeps searching. I kneel down and look through the hole. On the other side is a pool of water surrounded by bricks, and there's a large building with metal pipes looped around the top. But that's not what I'm looking at. At the opposite end of what we always thought was someone else's garden is a gate and a padlock lying cracked and open on the ground. There was another hole, one we didn't see until now. It's only big enough for someone small to climb through, but the gate, moving back and forth in the wind, is large enough for anyone to walk out of. I'm still staring when I see Jay walk into the area from the other side. He's out of breath, and when he catches my eye, he looks terrified. That's when I turn to Mom and Nia and say, I know who has him.